Is there anybody here for the first time that's never been here before? If you have never been here before, please unmute and let us know you're here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Are you new?
Hi. I am brand new. My name is Glenda.
Hi, Glenda.
Hi.
Welcome.
I am very untechy. I was surprised I figured out how to do this.
Good for you. Good for you.
So it's nice to see your face.
Good. It's good to see your face too. And look at you. The techie stuff it's tricky. It's tricky. All of us, I think, we struggle in some way, and then you just did it. You did it, didn't you?
I did it. Yes.
Good.
I downloaded it and everything.
Good for you.
Glad to hear. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say. I have been watching, and I bought all the ingredients to start and just got my scale. So tomorrow I should be starting.
Good for you. Very good. You just keep coming back, and you become a part of this community. We'll be keeping our eye on you.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yes, we've got a lot of success on the screen right now. A lot of people, lives changed, and yours can be one of them. So good.
Well, I sure enjoy listening to people's success stories.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okie doke. Well, hello and welcome to Lulu's Way Healthy Food, Healthy Life. My name is Nicole, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be your host this evening. To keep this meeting free from distraction, we ask that all in attendance please mute yourselves unless you are speaking. We also ask that you keep the video mode turned off if you are doing anything other than sitting and participating in this meeting so that we can minimize distraction. In this community, we gather to support, encourage, and inspire on the benefits of nutrition, weight loss, wellness, and the joy that comes from choosing to serve yourself well. We are not medically trained, nor do we have formal training in nutrition. We come together here for the sole purpose of providing support, sharing experiences, and promoting a healthy lifestyle. It may be wise to check with your healthcare professional with any dietary suggestions or advice you receive from this group discussion, particularly if you have health challenges. Individuals in this group may have different ideas on how to eat healthy. Just figure out what works best for you and do it your way. Our meeting format involves rotating through a series of important topics focusing on the needs and interests of our members. These topics include food preparation, motivation, meal ideas, traveling, socializing, challenges, non-scale victories, maintenance, and general Q&A. We will fully explore one topic before moving on to the next, continuing this rotation until the meeting concludes. The following week, we'll resume with the topic where we left off. So there's that, and for tonight, our topic, we are going to start with one of our own. Stacy is going to share her journey with us.
I'm so grateful, Stacy, that you're going to share your story with us, because you've been with us for quite a while, and you've done so well, and we want to hear all about it.
Okay. I'm kind of nervous, but so I did not have much of a weight problem until I was probably about 15 or 16. I grew up eating very healthy. My dad was born in a house in the woods in the western part of the UP in Michigan. He was 3 months premature, and it's really a miracle that he lived. His mother stuck him in a shoebox by the wood stove. And so he grew up fishing and hunting and trapping and had a garden. So he taught us to fish and have a garden. So I was really blessed in that way. We always had odd jobs, shoveling snow, mowing lawns, babysitting, paper routes. Whenever I had money, I would go to the candy store and buy candy. I didn't have a huge sweet tooth, but I didn't know what else to spend my money on. It wasn't a lot of money. And but when I was 16, I got a regular job and started smoking, much to my regret, and eating fast food at lunch. Every day in high school, my friends and I would eat at McDonald's and smoke cigarettes. So I started to gain some weight, but probably when I got out of high school, I was maybe in the high 140s. So not real overweight, but I remember one time I was walking down the street and just by myself, and I heard this guy yell, "Pig." And I was looking around like, who is he talking to? And I was the only one there. And I thought, he must be talking to me. And so I was thinking, I must be getting overweight. So it, put it into my mind then about my weight. I had many different jobs. I was a waitress. I was a janitor. I worked in a dry cleaners. I worked in a drugstore. I joined the Marines, and I'm not sure what I weighed when I went in, but I was probably around 145 or 150. And when I got out of boot camp, I was 128. And when I got out of the Marines 4 years later, I was 148, which was the highest I could weigh without being sent to fat camp. The Marines are really strict about weight, so if you didn't look good in your uniform or if you looked overweight, they would send you to work out usually in the morning, and you'd just be running and doing all that. So fortunately, I didn't have to do that. But once I got out, I just started putting on weight, not real rapidly, because I didn't really have a sweet tooth. And at that point, I didn't really eat fast food, but I loved pasta. So my choices were not, as bad as they could have been, but not great. In my early 30s, I was told I had high cholesterol, and I really didn't want to take a cholesterol drug. So I read about a vegan diet. So I went on a vegan diet for about, 10 years at least, maybe more. But I was slowly gaining weight, and I was hungry all the time. My cholesterol numbers went down, but I didn't really feel good. And then I went back to eating meat, and my weight really didn't change. So in 2020, I was I was not one to diet, because I could never stay on a diet more than one day. I could stay on a diet for one day, and then that was it. It was like, how come I can't even do 2 days? But I never could do 2 days even. So in 2020, I weighed 222, and a friend of mine had a cussing problem. And I said, you really should stop cussing. And he said, I can't. And I said, well, I'm going to go on a diet, and I'm not going to eat any sweets or processed foods or grains. It was going to kind of be like keto, because I heard that was a way to lose weight. So he said, well, are we going to do it a week? I said, no, we're going to do it a year. And he couldn't believe it. And I said, so if we go off the plan, we have to pay $100 to an organization that we just would never want to give money to. And so he said, no way, let's give it to the orphanage, because our church helps an orphanage in India. I said, no, we can't give it to the orphanage, because then we won't care. It'll be like, oh, I went off the diet, but the orphans get a laptop or something. So we stayed on it for a year, and I never once in my mind was I ever going to be tempted to go off it. It was amazing. So after the year, I lost 31 pounds, and then I went back to eating the way I was, and I gained 18 pounds in 18 months. So it wasn't, for me, it was mostly bread that I liked, because I baked bread, and I didn't eat a huge amount of it. I wasn't really, into sweet stuff, but it was constantly eating a little bit too much. So I gained 18 pounds back in 18 months. And then I was sort of, trying to do a diet, and I'd go down 10 and up 5 and kind of like that in that range. And then I had to go through a difficult situation. I'd always prayed to God, please give me a diet that I can do easily, because I know when I quit smoking in my 30s, I was working, and I had a customer who was a psychologist, and I said, she came into the store and I said, I want to quit smoking. Do you have any tips? And she said, yes. So when you get up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, I'm so glad I don't smoke. So I did that. And then another person who had quit smoking said, drink a big glass of water if you have urge. So I did that. And it really was like a miracle. I couldn't believe it. In hindsight, I think I was retraining my brain. So instead of saying, oh, I really want to have a cigarette, but I'm not going to have one, I was just, saying, I'm so glad I don't smoke. So that was close to 30 years ago. And whenever I see someone light up a cigarette, immediately in my head is, I'm so glad I don't smoke. Because I really did rewire my thinking about it. Now, I did cheat once in a while on smoking, but I never was afraid I was going to get rehooked. But my husband was. He never told me that. But we talked about it recently, and he said, I was always so scared. Like if we went to visit a friend that was a smoker, I'd say, well, let me have a cigarette, and I'd smoke it, and it would be no big deal. But he told me just a couple of days ago he was really afraid that I was going to start again. So anyway, I prayed I would get a diet that would be easy. And then I went through this difficult situation where I lost my appetite. And I was like, well, this is great because I don't want to eat. So it's super easy and I'm losing weight. But that is not sustainable because, I wasn't going to be in a difficulty forever. So, but I did manage to kind of keep losing a little bit. And then in August of last year, I had a bad fall. I already have difficulty walking from a previous fall in my 30s. But so I had a bad fall, and some of you know this story, but I was on the couch for a month. I could barely walk. I had to use a walker, and so that's where I found out about Lulu. And I'm watching, I wanted to get a van before and travel around, but I saw the one about food and your weight loss journey, and I thought, well, I was already trying to eat pretty well because I'd had deep vein clots in my leg before, and I knew that I wouldn't be walking at all. So I was trying to eat well, but when I saw your plan, Lulu, I thought, well, I'm going to try this. And so I was experimenting a little with individual meals. I remember a friend called in November and said, hey, do you want to meet for Thanksgiving dinner? And so I was kind of doing it, but I wasn't really eating much off plan, like bread once in a while, but I wasn't weighing everything at that point. So we went out to a restaurant for Thanksgiving dinner, and I remember we had turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes with gravy, green beans, and cranberries, a roll, and a piece of pumpkin pie. So I just got the potatoes without the gravy. I had the green beans and the turkey, and that's what I ate. And it was fine. Our son came home from college in December, and he's off for a month. We had our son when I was 43, so he's really just a blessing to us. But so he came home, and I thought, well, I'll bake bread because he loves bread. So I baked bread, and this was mid-December. And so I baked it, and I used to make this fast sourdough in a Dutch oven, and it's super good. Crunchy on the outside, soft in the middle. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just have one piece of bread when I make it. And so I had two. And then the next day I had two. And I was like, stop. And I remembered, I don't know who said it, but somebody said, you never stop a craving by feeding a craving. And that was like so in my mind. I was like, I didn't have any cravings for bread until I ate a piece. I didn't even really need to eat that piece. But I was just like, well, it's here. I made it, So that was a huge lesson for me. So I really went like completely 100% in January. And I think at that point, I was about 160 pounds. But I listened to all of the Thursday calls when I was on the couch. And I couldn't wait to meet everybody I'm not on Facebook, so I didn't realize I could be on the call. And then I emailed you, Lulu, and I said, can I just be on the call? And you said, yeah. So I don't know when that was. It could have been in January, but I remember, I mean, I just knew your voices. If you just spoke, I knew who it was. And so I was so excited to see everybody. And it was just wonderful to meet all of you. And so I would say that for me, when I first went 100% and I weighed everything out, I was just stunned at how few like starches I could eat. Like rice, I remember we have a big garden and my husband pulled some potatoes and so I took one, you know, it wasn't that big, and I put it on the scale and it was 4 ounces, and I was like, I can't believe it. I am not eating that potato. I'd rather have like quinoa or something, you know. So I was really surprised because I used to eat huge amounts of potatoes and rice, and so I just did not have a properly proportioned balance. When I went 100%, it surprised me how I just felt so satisfied. I didn't crave anything. I was really a little bit too full, and I do eat a little bit less because I'm not that active. I just don't think I need that many calories, and I think also because I don't walk very much, it just doesn't go through my system as well as most people probably. So I did tweak it a little bit, but I know that I wouldn't have been successful without this call. I just know it because what surprises me is how we can go on a diet, like before, we can go on a diet and go off of it and think we're not going to go back to how we were. I mean, it's just, now I think back on that now and I think, well, that's just crazy. You have to do something that you never want to change. And so that's what this is. So when I really weighed everything, I just felt so fantastic in my body. I remember when I was 9 years old, I was always outside playing and I loved climbing trees. And I remember this one day climbing this tree and I yelled, I never want to be older than 9. I just felt so fantastic inside and out. And I feel like that inside now. I really feel just incredibly healthy inside. I think that, Lulu, when you mentioned having like a bright feeling behind your eyes, I don't know, I wouldn't describe my feeling like that, but I didn't think I had brain fog before, but now I know I would have had some because I just am so aware of what's going on around me. Even like what I hear and what I see is amplified. Also, my taste buds, I feel like every time I eat something, it's almost the greatest thing I ever had. And I can't believe it. It's like, what a gift. But I think that it's also just not having all the dyes and preservatives and all the chemicals. Even though I didn't eat a lot of that in the past, something is definitely different. Or maybe it's just the weight loss and having a system that isn't burdened by weight, or you know, maybe my blood sugar was I don't know. I did get a glucose kit at one point over the years, and I would take it like a couple times a year, and it was always pretty normal. But I'm very, very grateful to everyone just for speaking up and sharing little insights that you have, because it has really, really helped me, and I appreciate it. I love you guys. I really do. So I'm about, I think my last weigh-in was 136. So I've lost over 80 pounds from 2020. And it's so weird how I get up in the morning and I forget I have a different body sometimes. Like I'll get up and I'll be like, oh, wow. You know, like I got out of bed so easily, and I crack up, you know, I'm like going downstairs and I'm just really cracking up because I don't want to sound boastful, but it has been easy for me once I knew what to do. And for my body, like just for me, it was primarily eliminating the bread and reducing the amount of starch. And then it was very doable. But I'm very grateful. Did not have a sugar problem. I have family members that have serious sugar addictions, and they know it and they battle it, and I feel so bad for them. But I can't. When I was talking to my husband last night, I said, when I quit smoking, and I had been stopped smoking for quite a while, our neighbor was taken away in an ambulance, and we were looking out the window. And I remember looking out the window and having this strong urge to smoke. And I wasn't going to go smoke, but it was just so weird to me. Like, why did this happen right now? And so a few days ago, I was looking out the window, and I had this, it wasn't an urge, but it was like, I was thinking, oh, ice cream. And I wasn't even a huge ice cream eater, but it was so weird to me. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm going to go get an ice cream, because I wouldn't. But it was just weird to me how that came into my head suddenly. And I said to my husband, I hope I never go off this plan. I could never imagine doing it. I can't imagine anything being worth what I have. I mean, it's just like, but you never know, you know, because you hear stories about people with addiction, alcoholics or drug addicts, and everything's great. And then they just, for a moment, they just, you know, for whatever reason. So I just pray that doesn't happen to me. I can't imagine it, because I try to always be prepared. If I'm traveling, or, you know, I just always have food, so I don't really need to be hungry. But that was a thought that I had recently. So what I like to eat, I eat really simple. I usually eat oats in the morning. So I take like 1.5 ounces of oats, and I use 10 ounces of water, and I soak them overnight. And then I put a banana in the morning. I weigh the banana, and then we have a ton of apple trees on our property now. And we have lots of berries, and we pick berries in the summer. And so then I usually have about 5 ounces of fruit with my oats. And then I always have 2 poached eggs, like in the silicone cups. And I love to have a little bit of red onion and broccoli, and some kind of mushroom. And then we have fresh basil growing. My husband had a pot on the porch last year, and he brought it in. And it was sort of a wimpy looking basil plant. And I thought, well, I'm just going to cut a little up and snip it into my eggs. And that was so fantastic. I love to eat that with dried dill on top. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to eat as much basil as I want. And I wish I had a picture of that basil plant when I started and now, because maybe it was like this big, and now it's like this. So like the more I chopped it, it just grew and grew and grew. So that's been fantastic. My lunches are pretty simple. We have a lot of vegetables in our garden right now. So, you know, just all kinds of greens, Asian greens, kale, cruciferous stuff, broccoli, just lots of different things. So I just usually cook like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, a bunch of veggies, and then just a couple proteins. And so my diet is really simple. But every time I eat it, it's like the greatest thing. I remember when I was eating, you know, starting the big salads, and I'd be like, this is the best salad ever. And my husband said, you always say that. And I said, I can't help it. It seems better today than it was yesterday. So I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but it is so amazing how, it's amazing to me that I'm amazed that if you eat right, you feel so good. Like, how can we think that's so like a miracle? But it feels like a miracle somehow. I guess because we haven't eaten well prior to this, maybe. So that's my story.
Thank you so much, Stacy. It was great to hear your story.
Yeah.
So, are you at your goal weight now? Are you maintaining?
No, well, I'm at 136. And so the middle of my Mayo's weight would be, because I have shrunk a little since I was younger. So I think my middle would be 126 or 127. So like 9 or 10 pounds away.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going to end up. Like really right now, I feel like I'm eating more than I need to. Like, I feel like when I'm eating often, I wouldn't eat quite as much. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to stick on the plan. But like, I only usually eat 3 ounces of protein and 3 ounces of grain, for example. And I still feel like, I don't necessarily feel like that's too much, but sometimes the veggies feel too much. Like sometimes at dinner, I'm really not that hungry. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll go by how I feel, you know, but I often think that I don't need to eat as much as I do because I'm just not that hungry.
So you've altered the plan, but you have a plan that you follow 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And like, I don't like oil really on my food. So I've always done like a tablespoon of peanut butter. So if I make a dressing or a sauce, I'll usually use like diced tomatoes and maybe a little bit of with the peanut butter, like maybe a little bit of mustard and apple cider vinegar for my dressing. But I really don't like the way oil tastes on my food. So that's what I've just figured, well, a tablespoon of peanut butter, it's pretty high in fat. So that is another modification that I've done. So that's about it for the modifications, I think.
But you know, it's okay to modify, as long as the structure of the food options are the same.
Yeah.
But it's just about picking a plan and then sticking to it 100%. So when you say you're on it 100%, I always just encourage people, whatever plan that you land on that feels right for you, and follow it 100%, and you're 100%er. You know?
Yeah. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
So those are basically the tweaks. A little bit less. I mean, we grew up eating meat, but it wasn't like lots of meat. And so I just am not accustomed to maybe digesting, you know, that much meat. But I do like meat. So 2.5 to 3 ounces feels good in my stomach. So yeah, I basically tweaked it in those 3 ways: the grains, the amount, and the protein, and the peanut butter for the oil.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. It sounds like you're in a good place, and like, yeah, there's just nothing feels better than feeling good. It just feels so good. It looks like we have a slideshow. Oh, look at you.
So the picture on the left, that was right before my son left for college. That was in July of 23. And then I think that the one on my trike, so I have a trike. It's really awesome. They're made in Michigan, and they have, 2 wheels in the front and a wheel in the back, and they are such a blast to ride. I mean, this is just the most amazing bike. So because I cannot ride a regular bike because I can't lift up my right leg, but I can do like this kind of motion. So I think that the first trike photo is maybe last October, and that might have been the first time I was able to get back on that trike after that fall, and I was so happy. And then the trike on the right was today. I just don't have a lot of pictures of myself. I don't know why. I mean, I don't have a lot of pictures of anybody, but so this picture on the right I just said to my husband, "You have to take a picture of me, sweetheart." So I just went out in the yard, and that was just a few days ago, and he took that picture of me. So that was just, those other 2 are fairly recent.
Yeah, you look great. You look great, Stacy.
Thank you.
You look happy and healthy.
Yes. Now, the bike is possibly causing me some issues with my walking because my gait has gotten worse. When I'm riding it, I just feel so happy. I remember because I really couldn't get my heart rate up. too easily because I can't move my right leg normally. So it's really hard for me to do anything to get my heart rate up. And when I got that bike, I remember the first time I rode it, I was just singing for joy down my road. I was just like, I was literally, thanking God and just singing. I couldn't believe like what it felt to have my heart like working again and everything flowing through my body. I was just like so happy. And then some of the neighbors on my road walk every morning. And I used to be so wishing I could be with them. I mean, I knew I couldn't. But so one day, this was like a few months ago, I think, I was just going down the driveway to go on the ride, and one of them was walking. And the other ones were not going to be with her that day. We have not a lot of people live on our road. It's out in the country. But I said, oh, so I was just riding along next to her as she was walking and we were chatting. And I said, well, maybe I'll just go with you, and see how it goes. And so I went with her, and then it was so nice. And then there are typically 4 of them that walk every day. 2 of them don't walk on Sundays, but so then I started going with them, and it was so much fun. I mean, I had so much fun getting to know them better, and we would be out there an hour. So I would go Monday through. Well, I get together with some ladies from church on Fridays for breakfast. So I would go Monday through Thursday and then on Saturday. And so, but when my walking, I was having a lot of stumbling. And I did mention on another call that I had hoped that when I lost a lot of weight, my walking would get easier, but it really hasn't. But I have not fallen, and I've had some very bad stumbles where I just couldn't even believe I recovered. So that is due to the weight loss, I'm sure. But I was just stumbling more, so I thought I have to not ride this bike for a while. And then I feel like even though it feels good when I'm doing it, it might be messing me up. So I like to be with people when I'm exercising. And that was one thing I loved when I was with the ladies walking. It was just so wonderful, to do that every day.
Very good, Stacy. It was very nice to hear from you. I'm thrilled for you. I can feel your that like when you just say you just feel so good. It just feels so good to feel good.
Yeah. It just feels like I'm in someone else's body almost.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. I don't know what's going to happen next.
Excellent, Stacy. Very happy for you.
So happy for you, and how supportive you are to everyone too, and all your kind comments in the chats week after week. So
well, I'm gonna put my phone number in the chat, and if anybody ever wants to call me, and if you need help in anything, I will try to help you if I can.
Oh, how nice is that?
Thank you.
Sometimes people just need a one-on-one. Thank you, Stacy.
You're welcome.
Very good. So should we move on to our next topic?
Yes, well, our next topic, which is really great to follow that, is motivation.
Motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do I have to say about motivation? That story is motivating. I just find that, like, when I come here, I continue to feel motivated, and I think a lot of you feel the same way. You come here, you listen to other people, you just don't feel so alone doing something like this. It's a drastic change to just be not just eating like this, but eating like this consistently, and very specific weights and measures, just very restrictive, as they say. That it looks like it's very restrictive, but I always say that it's very freeing. It makes me feel free. I just love that, that I only have to eat 3 times a day. And I, like Stacy, every salad is like the best salad ever. you know, and it's because it's the one I'm having now. It's the one I'm having now. That's why it's so fabulous, you know. And I just stay motivated because the way that I feel just doesn't get old. It just doesn't get old. Like, I don't get tired of this, you know. I just love the way that I feel. I love that I can depend on my body to cooperate with me to do whatever I want to do. I just, I feel young. I feel better, really better than I ever have. That's motivating enough for me. And it's just not to forget that. If you're getting to a space where you're feeling like, oh my God, I'm, you know, doing this again, another day, another salad, you know, just, you know, I invite you to just really think about, you know, what those salads are doing for you. And rather than resent them and feel like you're rather having something else, well, you can have something else, but then you're going to have a different body and a different life, you know. And the life that I have and the body that I have is the life and the body that I want. And in order for me to have that, I have to do what I do. And I always say, like, you know, all the success stories on the screen, you know, if you want what we have, you got to do what we do. You know, there's just no free ride here, because if there was, I would have found it. I would have found the back door, you know. And because, you know, I've already played all those games, all the games, you know, let's make a deal. And you know, I've told the stories here before, and I'm so crystal clear. You know, just ask yourself, you know, what it is that you want. If you're on a journey and you're already got some success under your belt, and you're halfway there, or you're almost there, or you're just in it, you just got a good chunk of time in, and you just oh my God, you can't give it up. You can't give it up, because it just goes away. For me, it would just go away. Like, you know, I don't know when I would get it back again. And so I'm going to just stay motivated. I stay focused on everything that my body can do, everything, you know, even when I was at the gym today, and, you know, not my favorite place. I like the shower. Love the shower. I'd go to the gym every day, take a shower. But I worked out today, and it's hard, but I did it anyway. But it's not even about that. Like, I was in that gym, and I was in this big room where I had my weights, and I had a bench, and I had my mat, and I had all my bands, and all my headphones, and my phone, and I got all my flashcards, and I tell you, it's quite an ordeal. But, you know, at one point I was in there, and I looked at myself in the mirror. I didn't have my glasses on, but I could still see. And I just thought, like, oh my God. And it wasn't even about, like, what's been happening at the gym. It's nothing about that. I couldn't see that well to say, like, I wasn't looking at, like, my muscles or anything. I was just looking at, like, a normal sized body, you know. And the woman next to me had a normal sized body, and the guy over there had a normal sized body. There was just like 3 of us in that room, you know. And I just thought, like, oh, I'm just so grateful that I look and I like what I see, especially without glasses, because I don't I don't see, like, you know, the veins in the legs. Everything looks nice and smooth and great, you know, but I have a general idea. And I just it's just motivating. It's just motivating, like, to just always keep a check on your progress and just say, you know something, I'm there, I'm almost there, I'm on my way there. And there's just nothing beats it. Just to be in a normal sized body when I haven't been in a normal sized body for most of my living years, you know. So it feels good to not be drawn to, like, stop and get fast food, and drawn to, like, go get a pack of cigarettes and go get to the, you know, just all that addictive stuff. Like, you know, when Stacy was talking about addiction, just even addiction, cigarettes, food, and it's just, you just, motivation is just to look and feel fabulous, even with all the flaws and all. I'm almost 67 years old. I have a 67-year-old body, and it's just what I have. So the girl that was next to me, she was young and all kind of firm and tight with a cute uplifted butt and everything. Now that's not what I saw. Well, no, actually, without the glasses, that's kind of what I saw too in me. But I don't even wish I was her. Like, I don't want to be 30 again. I don't want to be 30. I love being 67. Love it, But yeah, sure, I'm working out and my arms are getting toned, but I still got all the stuff that jiggles. And that's just, who doesn't have that? At our age, who doesn't have it? It's just like, so who am I to think like that's going anywhere, And it's just like, it's just, when I'm lifting the weights, I can focus on, everything that I love about what I see in the mirror, or I can go like this and go, oh God, I hope no one sees those, my little angel wings, Oh, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? And then after the birth of my son, I got these veins in my legs. It was a gift from my son 29 years ago. And, they're just veiny. They're not smooth. They're not awful. I'm not going to complain about my legs because they take me everywhere I want to go. They don't hurt. Everything is just perfect. But I just have, a 67-year-old body. And I love it. And I just invite you to just love your body. Stay motivated to just always make it the best that you can. And that's what I got. What about you, Nicole?
That's good stuff, Lulu. Yeah, I think for me, more and more now, what I find motivating is what's in the rearview mirror. I just can't help but celebrate it all. Like, the stuff that used to be that would make up my life and my daily feelings, like that is so far in the rearview mirror now. And I feel so much better about my now and my future health-wise. And yeah, I am noticing now, like, everything's a little bit wigglier and stuff like that. And I was warned by some of you, who you are, that it's coming. But I'm really working on accepting it and celebrating that too, and being lighthearted as possible as I can about it, because, I'm 57 and I've been very overweight most of my adult life, all of my adult life. And so that's the results, that my body tells that story. I'm thankful for clothes and bras and, all that good stuff. But the pure joy that I feel just being now, like I don't have this extra humongous emotional and physical burden weighing me down from the moment I open my eyes until the moment I go to sleep, and fighting through the fog of overeating and excess and things like that, just to function during the day. I cannot say enough about that. I don't know how to describe that, but that is what really keeps me motivated, because if bad food wasn't bad for you, of course that would be like my choice. You know what I mean? Those are the things I used to struggle with. And I would think, if we were comparing things and you said, do you want this apple or do you want this cake? And they were equal and they gave me happy, wonderful life. I think I know what my old habits would push me toward. But the fact is it's like that ticket I was saying that you punch when you eat something. It's bringing you to a destination. And for a lot of people, like we've talked about before, that don't struggle with this, they can moderate and manage it all. And I'm not that kind of person. So I look at it as it's just a joy to punch the right ticket, and that's also, I think, what I'm surprised, and I was surprised pretty early how it didn't bother me what other people were eating. I didn't have to exclude myself if people were eating a certain thing or try to avoid social situations, because I just know, what that ticket means to me. And I just had a work dinner on Tuesday night, and we went to a place where it was all appetizers and happy hour and fried chicken and dinner. It was a southern place. And I had a fizzy water, and it was my work team, and they all know by now, but they were still surprised that we were going out and I wasn't eating. And I said, you know what? I ate my lunch on time, and I'm really excited about my dinner later, and I don't want you to be uncomfortable, but I don't want to miss celebrating with you, because we were celebrating someone. And they just accept it, and they were so happy to be eating their food. And then the next day I went into the office, and they commented again at lunchtime, wow, you have a lot of willpower to go through that dinner last night. And I said, you know what? It's so easy, because I have wonderful meals and they're giving me what I want,
Yeah.
And so it's a close team, and they kind of know my journey a little bit, or they see it, and they're kind of amazed, but it's not hard. They're amazed. They think it's so hard. But they're not the rest of the team, except for maybe one, they're not people who really struggle with their weight, right? So I think the people that maybe put inputs into your mind or comment on your food and things like that can sometimes be demotivating. But if you know in your heart what you want to do and why, like, nothing can stop you. You'll just do it, and that's kind of the neat example that Lulu, you gave to me. Because in the beginning, all these things just seemed outrageous. Like, wow, you do that? You take your food on the plane? You go to a wedding and you don't eat? It just seemed like kind of like things that never hit me. And those are the things that, the payoff is so huge. And then the motivation just starts rolling. You don't have to pull it up by your bootstraps anymore. You don't have to white knuckle it. You don't have to wish, you could be eating something different. Which are all things that I used to do when I was dieting all my life. So I think looking in the rearview mirror, just not that that's where you're going, but just to celebrate like the different places you've passed through, and that you're still going to keep passing through them. You're just like on this road. So, and then I guess the other thing I would say is, one of the questions I ask myself sometimes is, are there any barriers I have to remove to make this the very best it can be for me? And that answer could be different from all of us. Like maybe somebody might say, well, I have to remove the barrier of being prepared. I have to remove the barrier of letting my family dictate or make me feel a certain way about what I'm doing. One of my barriers that I work on all the time is just leaving myself extra time to really take care of me, so I'm not rushed. But is there any barrier to my motivation is a good question to ask, because then you can actually write it down, and you can even ask in this group to come up with ways to get over that barrier, because it's really doable. And then I just want to just mention, and if you probably already know this, but once you get rolling and you stick to it, it isn't hard. That's the thing. It isn't hard anymore. It's just what you want to do, and you want to hang on to it. And that's kind of where I am. Like just celebrating, accepting what's wiggly, celebrating every great thing that comes, my way in the form of like being able to do something I wasn't really ever able to do before, or my comfortableness in my body. Those things motivate me. You all motivate me. This group motivates me. Just the shared friendship and the actual real caring we have about each other is super motivating too. So those are the things that motivate me.
Wonderful, Nicole. Oh gosh. So I saw Nicole this past weekend, and the last time I saw you was, what meetup did you come to? February?
I came to February meetup.
February. So February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 7 months. So get out your little book.
I did. I knew where you were going. I thought I better get my book.
Yeah. So
February 1st, I weighed 202.6. And September 1st, I weighed 177.4.
Okay, so it's like you're 25-ish pounds lighter.
Is that what it is? Thank you for doing math in your head. because that's
So-
not my strong suit.
And I mean, it was just like, you know, like, and how quick that time went by, right? From when I
Yeah.
saw you in February to when I saw you in September, and what you accomplished in that time, you just kept doing it. And she was at one point she was in front of me doing something. Her back was to me, and I was just like, look at you. I put my hands on either side of her butt, you know, and I was just like, you're just so narrow. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, look at you. You know, it's just, you know, even when I was watching you in the video, like when we were doing the dance and stuff, it's just like, you know, you have a normal sized body. And you come from, what's your top weight?
Well, my top weight is 312. And when I started Lulu's plan, it was 281.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And I think there's still plenty of me to lose, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you know,
still
you're not done yet.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not done yet. But yeah,
You're not at your ideal weight, but I'm just saying that you have a normal sized body, like just to. But I know you're going for the ideal. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, and when we went thrifting, I bought a couple of shirts that are size large, and they fit. That's just so weird to me. You know, that's just so weird, because I still have some of my bigger things, not too big, but, you know, extra large, and 1Xs I'm trying to shrink the heck out of because, you know, I think, I can get some more use out of this. But that just, I mean, I was doing 3X and then scarily moving to 4X. And so, you know, and if that's where you are, you know, I know what that feels like too. And, you know, you can get there. It doesn't feel good. You just feel that extra weight isn't just like on your body. It's also on your mind and your heart, you know? So yeah, but I couldn't believe it. I'm like, large? This is nuts. And, you know, others like, I know here, like Dale, you have some mediums. I mean, I'm just like, I never could even fathom a medium. You know, doll clothes, Pam. I was saying, you know, you bought a small. It seems like that's doll clothes. So, but a normal sized body, it's really hard when you've been really overweight to fathom that and to get your mind around it. It's, you know, it's just kind of incredible. Like I told you last couple weeks, I haven't weighed this since I was 19. You know, so it's a long time. So it's very bizarre, but very wonderful.
Yeah. And you just appreciate it. That's what's keeping you motivated. It's just like, I get to, never mind, like that was then, I was 19. Between 19 and 57, you got, right, your story. And now it's like you're just creating a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, and we can all do that. It's just deciding, and you know, this is what this group is just support for the decision and the plan that can really just simplify it. And yes, if you have to adjust it because of medical or what have you, but like you said, doing something 100% is the key. And when you have this, you know, when this kind of relationship with food.
And you know, if you're first starting and you're, you know, doing your day 1 and day 2, day 3, day 4, it's probably going to suck. It's, you know, withdrawal from your regular, all that processed food and sugar and junk. Your body's gonna struggle through that. But it's about you being stronger than that. You've got to be tougher than that. And then, and then, like Nicole says, like we're all at the point. There's many of us now that are at the point that it's just easy. It's because like it's not like there's another option. So like if we spend every day without other options, because when there's other options, I'll pick the other option. You know, like when Nicole was talking about the apple and the cake. You know, it's like when you're doing your day 1. And you start going through options like, oh, you know, well, maybe I don't want to start today. There's an option. There's another option. Oh, you know, maybe I'll have piece of fruit at lunch, even though it's not on the plan, but it's fruit, it's on the plan. You just created another option for yourself. So now you've got all these options, and that's what makes the cuckoo, right? So this is what kind of keeps the cuckoo out. Just eat the plan. just eat on the plan. When there's no other options, there's no head games. There's no let's make a deal, you know? Just do it. And when it's really hard, just keep doing it.
It is an inside job, right? Like, it's something that we decide for ourselves, and it's not something anyone else can do for you. Okay, well, we have someone with their hand up. Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia.
Yes. Well, I just wanted to share. I had an experience today. A big motivator for me is, as it's been said here many times, freedom from food. Today I went to a huge open house in my neighborhood for a medical facility that caters to seniors. And before I left for this event, I had my breakfast, and then I had planned on having my lunch at 1:30. Well, when I got there was food galore. And I mean, everything from the sweets, the cakes, the candies, the like fruit. They had fruit, and then they had all kinds of sandwiches, tons and tons of food. But you know what? And all these people kept coming up to me and saying, "Oh, come over to the buffet. Would you like some food? We have lots of food here." And you know what? In the old days, before, I was on this program and lost weight and everything, it wouldn't have mattered that I had already eaten. It would not have mattered that I wasn't hungry.
Right.
I would have jumped at the chance. I would have gone and ate whatever I wanted and then had lunch again later on. I mean, like you talk about, Lulu, having 3 meals a day. It's freedom. It's freedom. I used to eat all day long. There were no meals. I would just eat all day long. And today, it just felt so good to be free from food. And I was able to go there and enjoy the event. I let them give me a bottle of water. That was what I took. But, they gave me a bag of goodies. You know how they do. They give you pens and writing pads and all kinds of stuff. But so I just wanted to share, that is a huge, huge motivator for me to be on this plan, to be free from food. So that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah. Oh, I totally relate to you, Cynthia, when you said, like hunger had very little to do with my food consumption. Very little to do with it. In fact, I don't really remember really feeling hungry much at all, because I was eating all the time. I was just definitely a grazer. I'd be like, oh no, I'm never hungry for breakfast. Like I'm some kind of petunia, It's like I wasn't hungry for breakfast because I was chowing at midnight. You know what I mean? And so now I wake up and, it's been over 12 hours since I've eaten and I'm hungry. And it feels really good to eat when you're hungry, doesn't it? Yeah. And, most of the time people will say like, oh, but I'm hungry. It's like, you're probably not.
That's right.
You probably just want to eat,
Drink your tea.
Drink your tea. Oh yeah.
Instead.
Everyone raves about that, having that chamomile tea at night if you want to eat.
That's right.
Yeah.
So.
But good for you. Good for you. Just going there and just noticing like this is what everybody wants. This is what they're having. And it's all junk. And that's what people want. The reason they serve that is because that's what people want,
Right.
And we get to be there and just not hurt ourselves while we're there,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You did it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And how long have you been on the plan?
I'm on week number 45 of maintenance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've been doing this a while.
Quite a while. Yeah, almost a year. I'm reaching now for the 1 year of maintenance.
Oh, okay.
I lost 75 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you,
You
Lulu.
must feel good, and you're just as free as a bird.
Thank you.
That food doesn't have you by the throat anymore. dictating your whole life and your whole day. It's
That's
just,
right.
You're in charge now. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it,
Yeah.
Cynthia. Thank you for sharing
Thank you.
with us.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you, Cynthia. Next we have Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Hi, Stacy, thanks so much and congratulations to you. I just wanted to share real quick. I got some great news today. That was a huge motivator.
Tell me.
So I had some blood work done, and 5 years ago I was diagnosed diabetic. And so my main motivation for this group is to get off like diabetes medicine, and my health is my main reason. And so I got my blood work back today and everything's normal. Like my A1C is like 5.7. My cholesterol's like way below like normal. I mean, it's like my triglycerides are normal. Everything on my blood work was like healthy.
Okay.
And I just couldn't believe it.
Oh my.
I just couldn't believe it because my A1C was pretty up there. I've been on 2 medications, and so I'm going to go see my nurse. And next week I go see my nurse practitioner, and I'm going to talk to her about maybe getting off some of this medicine that I'm on.
Absolutely.
So that's all. Thank you guys so much. That just motivates me to stick with this plan, because it's like, it's just amazing what it does to you, for you.
You made me cry.
Thank you all. Oh,
I am just so thrilled. That is just like, I mean, what's better than that? What Twinkie is better than that? You know what I mean? Like, who wants
what bite of pie is worth that, right?
No blueberry pie. And,
No blueberry.
When you really think about Thanksgiving and getting through Thanksgiving with news like this, doesn't it make Thanksgiving seem like a breeze? It's gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
What a gift. What a gift.
I'm very happy. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so thrilled for you, Kate. And how
It's
long?
only been 5 months too. I've
5
only been on
months.
this plan for 5 months.
But it's been 5
And-
months, 100%.
Yeah.
That's
it's
when
been
things
100%.
happen. When you just, a lot of times people, they're going to work at improving their health and they just cut back on things. Like, well, I'm not going to have as much sugar. I'm not going to have as many carbs. But then they're still doing it, having it. And you're making very slow progress. But when you're 100%, your body is just like, how much have you lost? 30?
40.
40
Yeah.
pounds. Your body's just like, it's all like a fine-tuned machine right now. It's healing and it's burning fat. It's just, you got it going on.
It's just amazing that what in that short amount of time, and just 40 pounds, what that can do for you guys.
Yeah.
If anybody here has diabetes, just stick with it, because I'm just shocked. I was shocked, really. That's all I got. Thank you all
You must
so
have
much.
been like flipping out.
I was so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful too, Lulu. Thank you so much.
Oh,
All right.
so
Well,
happy.
that
for you.
is motivating. Oh my
There
goodness.
you go. We got our shot of motivation tonight. Right there. There it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
we're all
Lulu always
motivated.
says, the cute genes are cute, but
Yeah.
our health is like a gift.
Yeah.
You just can't buy it.
Yeah.
So happy for you, Kate.
Yeah.
Next we
Yay!
have Ellen.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Ellen.
Hi. As far as motivation, of course, when I started this, the scale just like went down immediately, and it kept going down, and I would go in 8 pounds at a crack, 8 to 10 pounds every month, and that is truly motivating, of course. But then when you get to maintenance, it's you're looking to stay there, and I'm still motivated because I love the food I eat, and I don't mind going to the grocery store as much anymore because I love looking at all the produce and all of the things that I could do with it, and that's a wonderful thing too. But one of the one of them that was more recent was I met my sister. She lives in Montana, and I met her for an event, and she's always been the thinner one. She's always been on Weight Watchers and stuck to it, and leader and the whole thing. And I was, and the roles have flipped now. She's heavier than I am and actually had gained some weight, I noticed. And so she asked me what I was doing, and because I try to be prepared, I always take a printed copy of the plan with me almost wherever I go, not necessarily grocery store trips or anything, but if I'm away from home, I take it with me just in case someone asks. And so she asked me, so I brought it out and I showed her, and she goes, well, I'm pretty much kind of doing this, anyway. And so I got a message from her. We had a short message conversation this week, and she had started the plan, and she said she lost 5.5 pounds in 1 week. And, and you could just tell she was extremely excited and motivated herself. And that brought more motivation to me because when I got into maintenance, I thought I wanted to be the example for someone else. I didn't care who it was, but to have it be my sister is really wonderful. And she's not like I was, she doesn't weigh like I did, if she wants to, maybe 20 pounds or whatever, I don't even know, but she's not like I was to that point, but she's excited, and that's what I want to be for others, is motivating and just give them that offering of help, that if they ask me, I'll tell them, and so that was a big thing for me this week. That was huge.
That is huge. And you're very motivating to everybody here. Your story and your journey is very motivating. And I love when you said, how like you love this plan, and you're in maintenance now, and you still love it, and you love going to the grocery store and seeing everything and what you're going to make and all that. You have just you've made friends with the plan. Like it's your best friend. And it's
totally.
It's not like, any diet has always been like your worst enemy, your worst nightmare, And it's just like, you just have to embrace it and just say, I love doing this because I love what it does for me,
Right,
and,
right. So I'm hosting my brother and sister-in-law for a couple of days, and my niece will be here overnight tonight. And so I have meat in the crock pot, and I have roasted vegetables, and they're going to eat everything I eat. And it'll be wonderful. I mean, I just have huge, big tray of roasted vegetables, and then I have, I made a big pork roast is what I made. So it's all there, and we're going to have baked apples for dessert, and it's all good. It's wonderful.
Yeah, good for you.
So
great, Ellen.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Everyone's here is motivating.
Yeah,
it's
and that's really great that your sister's doing this too, and she has somebody to ask questions to and bounce things off of. Yeah, good.
Oh, I got to tell you something else she said, if I can.
Yep.
Oh, she said then she messaged back and she said, I get 23 points. And at first I didn't know what she was talking about. I get 23 points per week. And most of the time I stay under that, she said, because the veggies are 0, and I don't really understand all that point stuff. Yeah. And my response was, throw out that point stuff. You no longer need it. And so she did a thumbs up.
Yeah.
So
Once
she does it and figures that out, she'll off to the races and forget about all of that stuff, because like I've heard on this group, the points are fine, but you're trading them in for stuff that you shouldn't really eat, and to me that just makes no sense whatsoever. So I'm excited for her, and I stay motivated with the energy I have and things I can do now that were difficult before or that were painful before, and now it's, it's great. It's wonderful.
And you look so healthy. Yeah.
I feel really good.
Yeah.
I just do.
That's so good. So for all of you that are new here and don't know Ellen's story, I'll put a link in the description to the video. We featured her one night, just like we did Stacy tonight. We featured her one night, and she told a story with her before and after pictures, and it's quite amazing. I'll put a link in the description for that.
Thank you.
It's a great story.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thanks, Ellen.
You bet. Thank you.
Tell your sister we'll be asking about her. Does she know about us? Does she know about this group?
I told her about the Zoom group, and I'm just going to let her kind of get rolling into it, and then I'm going to remind her about it again.
Yeah.
And see if she'll join.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yep. All right.
Tell her it's like a Weight Watchers meeting.
Yeah. Then she'll. Yeah. Only better.
It's free. It's free though.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, that's the thing of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay, thank you. Next, we have Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Hi.
I am looking forward to a trip out to Massachusetts next week. I leave next Thursday. I'm flying out, and so I have my meals planned for breakfast and lunch, and I should arrive about 1:30, so no problem. But I'm going to be there for about 10 to 12 days between two different sisters, one who just moved into a new house and the other one who is going through cancer treatment. And so they both know I'm on the plan, and they both know about the plan, but I just am really concerned and needing extra motivation to stay on the plan while I'm there.
Yep.
So, and working in someone else's kitchen, and you know, I can borrow a car, I can get to the grocery store, but you know, hey, can I take over this whole section of your refrigerator for my foods?
Yeah. Well,
you know, it's going to be fun.
Well, you know, if refrigerator space is a problem, go grab yourself a cooler.
Oh, I think the refrigerator will be okay. I think the one sister that I think I'm staying with, she doesn't really like to cook, but she's really interested in the plan. But she's retiring at the end of the year and feels like she doesn't have the time to devote to it until after retirement. So she loves it when I come and cook for her anyway.
Oh, so she'll eat the food that you cook.
She'll eat the food. But
the food that's on plan. The food that's on the plan. Oh, good.
Yeah, it's going to be the quantities. You know, it's a lot of vegetables you have to cook.
It's a lot. It is. Just do batch cooking. Just batch cook. Yeah. But you know, so she'll have she'll eat what you eat, but she'll also have the treats and stuff. Is that what you're? Is that what you're afraid of?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, and her husband. So it's going to be. An interesting.
Oh, her husband too.
But she's already told him. She said, "Oh, by the way, Claire doesn't drink anymore. You know, it's not that I've quit drinking for a little while. It's I don't drink anymore. I'm reframing those things in my head, and that because him and I've always had a few. So it's it's just gonna be a different trip because I always make them a carrot cake when I come out to visit, and I might make a carrot cake for them." I won't eat it, but just and hopefully not making, you know, it's hard when you're in someone else's house, not making them feel bad about you saying no or eating differently than them, or if they want to say, hey, let's go out to dinner, going, really don't want to go out to dinner.
Yeah. But just say you go. You guys go.
Yeah.
You know, because you're going to be, how long are you going to be out here? How long are you going? For 2 weeks?
About 10 days.
10 days.
10, 11 days, yeah.
Just say, really, it's no problem. Go out and enjoy your meal. Go enjoy your meal. You know, I don't
but they want to take me, you know,
but that's not an option, you know. But, you know, you can just, and, you know, you don't have to worry about people feeling bad because that really has nothing to do with you. Like, you know, like, I think you need to go there and show her how it's done. That's what your job is. Like, you got to show her how you say no. Don't tell her you're doing this. Just, you know, you just keep it to yourself. But you're just going to be a power of example. So when you said that she's thinking about doing this plan, like when she, you know, there's people that are not retired that are doing this plan. Okay, so it's not like you need to be unemployed to do this plan. So show her how it's done. Show her how great you're feeling. And how long have you been on it?
Since December 1st.
Good for you. And how much have you
And
lost?
I've lost 27-ish.
Wow.
But I went shopping and bought a medium shirt the other day because all my shirt, I was like, I'm going out there. I have to buy some new shirts.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good for you.
So
you're just going to show her how it's done. You're going to show her. She's going to be like, but you're on vacation, you know? And you're like, no, yeah, but you know, I don't want to take a vacation from this because I feel too good, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, show her how you say no to things. No, thank you, you know, but you enjoy it. And if she makes something that, you know, that's delicious and, you know, they're eating it, and even say, that looks really nice. You did a really good job, you know, or your dinner looks great. Like, so you're not really sitting there criticizing like, oh, well, they're eating that junk and I eat healthy. You know, I never want to give anybody that vibe. I never want to do that.
No, I don't either.
So that's how you can make people feel bad. But you don't, if you're not doing that, you're not doing that vibe. You're just there, and you're just very present, and you're just doing what you do. And then everything else is the same. The relationship's the same. You're going to chit chat about things. You're going to go for walks or whatever you're going to do with your sisters. And then you just, when it comes to food, you mean business. This is my new plan of action, and this is what I'm doing, you know, and I'm not making an exception because it just doesn't make any sense to make an exception because I'm on a roll. You know,
yes,
and just stay on your roll, you know, and then I would imagine that she would only be happy for you.
I think so. Yeah.
And then you show her how it's done.
Yeah.
And she might not wait for retirement. She might be like, you know something, I'm watching you do it, and you make it look so effortless, and you just make everything look delicious, and you just really seem to enjoy your meals, and you've lost weight, and you just look, I want that too. So like, geez, let me see that plan. Can you print me a copy?
Yeah.
You know, you just never know how you can, you know, affect somebody else. Just like Ellen's sister, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. So when is this trip?
I leave next Thursday, so I might not be able to make the next 2 Thursdays. I might sneak out of the house and see if I can Zoom in, but yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'd love to have you and see how it's going.
Absolutely.
You'll have to check in and let us know how it's going, or have your sister join us too if she wants.
Yeah, and then the second week, my other sister is having a second chemo infusion for cancer, so I'm going to be taking care of her and making her food, and that might be easier because if she's not feeling good, I can eat my meals. So
yeah.
And just make her soup.
Yep.
Lots of chicken soup.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good, Claire. You got this, Claire. Yeah. You got it. You got this.
Oh, I feel like I have it. I have one other. I was making a caramel apple for my granddaughter last week, and I was pushing the rest of the caramel off back into the jar, and I had this caramel on my finger, and I looked at it and went over the sink, and I washed my hand.
There you go.
I am not eating that. Nice. I don't even want it.
Good.
But how often you just automatically
the mindless stuff.
Yep.
The BLTs, the bites and licks and tastes. Yep.
Didn't happen this time. So
yeah. Good, Claire.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Yes.
We're going to be during and after. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you. Seattle Sue.
Hey, Sue.
Hi there. You know, motivation for me, well, of course, the group and all the medical miracles, but motivation for me is watching Lulu.
Aww.
And I just want you to know how much I appreciate the way that you cook your vegetables and the education of how to use the Instapot and the toaster oven. That's been so helpful. the seasoning combinations that you use, getting good directions for everything, and it keeps it simple. Mm-hmm. And motivation is you, Lulu.
Oh. Oh, so thank
love
you. Oh, I love you all.
I posted a picture of me sitting with my big ass salad on my lap with my legs up and Lulu's Way on the TV. And I posted that on Facebook, got lots of likes for that.
I saw that, yeah. That was good.
Good education, Lulu. You're the cheerleader to motivate me.
Yeah, and you know, all I do really is I'm just a power of example, and you can all be a power of example. Just like I said, you know, Ellen was a power of example to her sister. Claire, you can be a power of example to your sister. We're a power of example to each other. We're just showing how you can just do it and be happy, not miserable. Like who wants? That's you know, these diets that we go on, they're freaking miserable. They're miserable. I just always just waited for it to end. You know, I'd spend the whole time I was on a diet, I'd be like, have my nose in cookbooks of all these recipes I was going to make when this damn diet was over with, you know, and then I always messed up everything I did. So, yeah, I'm very grateful to have what I have, and I'm just going to do everything I can to keep it because it's very, very precious. I don't want anything to come in the way.
Education, you know, with how to cook it right, and I mean. Well, he was motivated on how to use the Instapot. It intimidated me, but zero time on broccoli. And, you know, boy, I ruined a lot of broccoli until I heard that one, you know, so.
No, it's funny because, you know, I use the Instant Pot. It's new to me. I'd never had an Instant Pot before. So I just, you know, I got one and then I was just showing how I was using it. And I had no idea the effect that was going to have. How many people wrote to me and said, I've had an Instant Pot for 3 years. I never taken it out of the box because I'm afraid of it. But I'm watching you use it and it's like really nothing to be afraid of. And I'm like, yeah, I never thought to be afraid of it. I just used it, you know? But so many people said that they're going to take it out of the box, you know? So there it is. Just like, all I had to do was just use it. I'm not even like, I don't even get paid by them, you know. But how many people bought Instant Pots? Because
and the vegetables, I bought a toaster oven because of you.
You did? Yeah.
Vegetables, you know, I love vegetables, but you cook things that I have eggplant. I mean, delicata squash. I mean, keep it coming because I just love it.
Okay. All right. Good, Sue. Thank you, Sue.
You're my motivation. I just wanted to.
Bless you.
Bless you.
You should see Lulu cook chicken in a pan with a lid.
Oh, thanks for telling my secrets.
Oh, I'm so sorry. She got a lid stuck on her pan of chicken when we were together, and it was a crisis. Dale came in and said, Lulu's having a problem, and I thought, what?
No, this pan that is so good.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have. It's like a mismatched lid, and I put the lid on it. And then I couldn't get it off because like the heat just suctioned it on. So I'm trying to pull it off. And then Dale comes out and she's just like, you know, let me try. And she's pulling, it won't come off. We're trying to twist it off. I took it out on the driveway and I'm banging it on the ground because I was cooking this in my van. I'm banging it on the ground. It won't come off. And I'm like, all I want is the damn chicken. That's my lunch, right? So I brought it in the house. And I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, so we got box cutter Betty here. We took her box cutter and I was like, maybe if we take the razor and we put it there, we can just like release the seal somehow. Nope. So then I said to MF, get me a hammer. So she got me a hammer and I just whacked it and it came off. So that was interesting.
Don't do that one on the video. No.
We should have taped that. Cooking tips.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good one.